I'm stressed. Let's talk about it. Today was just a silly Billy kind of day, everybody. It's tax season and I'm a leasing consultant. So right now everyone and their mom is trying to get an apartment because they have the funds for it and they're all excited. And I love that. And my pocket is also, quite frankly, very excited for that. However, we were so understaffed at the office today. So it was bananas. Very mentally taxing. But I am so blessed and I am so highly favored because everyone that I talked to today was super cool and fun to talk to, and it was easy. It was just busy, very, very busy. And then as far as like my personal life stress is concerned, let's just have a very vulnerable chit chat about it. Primarily about my sobriety. My sobriety right now is kicking my tail, quite frankly. My two drugs of choices are marijuana and alcohol, but definitely marijuana over alcohol. I fell in love with weed when I was 18 years old, and I'm 29 years old. So it's over a decade of abusing Mary Jane. And when she's not readily available, her friend Tequila, she's a fun time too. And we're just gonna start the clock and just call today day one of sobriety for all fronts, because although I haven't smoked flower in some time, I have cheated and I have gone to vape shops for like CBD derivatives, and they were great to kind of like scratch the itch as I transitioned into full weed sobriety. But as of yesterday, I decided with God, like, I'm not even gonna bother with the little cartridges anymore. And then as far as alcohol, I don't have the pull for alcohol like I do for weed. Like, I don't crave getting drunk or tipsy the same way I crave getting high. So it's not as tough of a habit to kick. It's only tough because it's more readily available. It's more socially acceptable. Yeah, so we're getting sober, and we're considering it day one today because I did drink over the weekend again as we proceeded to scratch the itch, because I just felt a conviction in my heart, man, to get this under control, because I'm my best self when I'm sober. I'm my most focused, my most clear, my most authentic version of myself when I am sober. I'm also the healthiest version of myself. The longest sprint of sobriety I've ever had, specifically with weed, was a little over 60 days. And during those 60 days, I had lost a tremendous amount of weight, and I feel like my skin was doing really, really well. And after I started smoking again, I gained it all back and then some. Because I'm not caring about carbs and cereal. I don't care about overindulging. I don't care about having a limit. I don't care about being overly full or getting to the point of being like forever bloated. And when you're drinking, like, those calories add up really darn quick. So, needless to say, when I'm sober, my health is a lot easier to keep tabs on. So all day today has consisted of me praying to God because I so desperately want to get high. I so desperately want to reach out to my ex, and buy from him and get that dopamine hit of validation or interaction of talking with somebody, who once upon a time had feelings for me, and then walk away with like the reward of drugs and get to like fall asleep because my mind isn't going a trillion miles a minute. And no, I don't want that. I don't want that. I don't want to talk to my ex. He's very much in a happy relationship now, and I don't want to interrupt that. I don't want to ruin the intimacy and trust that I've built with God. I don't want to, I don't want to fall off track. I'm just tired of being tired. So, but I have had to pray a lot today. And I understand too that when these cravings to smoke or drink or whatever are extra strong, there clearly has to be a void within me that is calling for attention. And a big prayer all day today has just been, God, please fill in the voids. Please fill in the gaps in my heart so that the yearning to smoke or to do some just generally reckless choices, and fill in the gaps so that I don't have to do it within my own means. Your means are always better. So please step in. A lot of reading the Bible, a lot of casting my woes onto him and resting in him and letting him carry my burdens. And I wish I could say it here and say, like, I did the prayer and all the feelings were just instantly gone and I was magically cured. No, because my body is still flesh, and flesh is a very, persistent little bugger. But it definitely is a lot easier than past times where I've tried quitting. But yeah, sobriety in general is stressing me out. But we're gonna count today as day 1, and I hope to take you guys along for the ride. Because we're doing it the good old fashioned way. No cheating, no shortcuts, no nothing. Just dry, just tough. 'Cause I don't like it. The other thing that's stressing me out right now is my health in general, which is another reason sobriety is so important to me right now. For context, I'm 29 years old, and around this time was when my mom got diagnosed with hypothyroidism, which is an autoimmune disease that affects your hormones. And right now I am, not to sound like a hypochondriac, but I am exhibiting a lot of the symptoms of hypothyroidism. Kogi! And right now I'm trying to dismiss it as hypothyroidism or as a major health concern, primarily the weight gain and the hair loss on the top of my head, and then hair gain everywhere else, the extreme fatigue and mental cloudiness, the brittle nails and the bad joints and all that good stuff. And I understand that these are all sister symptoms of so many other diagnoses and problems under the sun. But just, again, given like my family history and whatnot, I just can't help but think this is all hormonally related. Because when I was younger, I was diagnosed with PCOS, and then I lost a bunch of weight, and then all those symptoms magically disappeared, and I was cured. So I know that I've always had, needless to say, I've always had hormone issues. And I just want to see how sobriety treats my health before I start worrying too much and thinking that, like, oh, this is a grave problem, not just a poor lifestyle choices kind of problem. So by cutting out the alcohol and the weed, I'm curious to see what kind of changes that does to my mental fog / mental clarity. Hey, can we stop doing that? Thank you. 2, I'm interested to see what it does to my weight, because right now my weight has skyrocketed from 160 to the last time I weighed myself was 190, and I can almost guarantee that when I weigh myself tomorrow, because I just ordered a new scale, thank you, Jeff Bezos, it'll be here in the morning. I have a feeling that when I weigh myself, I'm gonna easily be in the 200s, because when I did weigh myself and I was in the 190s, my jeans barely fit, and now my jeans don't fit at all. I'm talking can't get them past my hips type. And it's not so much bloat as I'm just getting wider from the front. And my diet hasn't changed too much other than alcohol. So I'm thinking after like a week reset of like anti-inflammation, hormone-friendly, balanced diet in sobriety, that I'll be able to clock some sort of difference in mental clarity and in my weight. And in fatigue, just like general energy levels. If after about like a week or two of trying to adhere to sobriety and a pretty strict diet, if I don't notice a difference or actually notice the opposite and see that I'm declining in results, then that kind of just points me in the direction of like, oh no, like I really do have like a hormonal problem right now that I need to get medically checked out. And so yeah, that's stressing me. My self-image and the fear of my deteriorating health as I get older is stressing me out. And then third, we have like a general sense of loneliness. And I may have talked about this in a different video, but I did ask AI, like, bro, like, why am I having such a tough time with loneliness? Like, what is it about a season of singleness that I struggle with so much? And the key takeaway I got from my conversation with AI was it's normal human behavior to want to feel connected, to want to feel celebrated, seen, heard, appreciated. And it's very special when that feeling comes from one person, the person that you can share the good, the bad, and the mundane with. And because I don't have that person, I can see why I don't feel seen, heard, appreciated, loved, celebrated, all that good stuff. Especially when a breakup is so fresh and I was just experiencing all of those things, you know? Or maybe not towards the end, but I was experiencing those things and I had a source where if I really wanted it, I could have gotten it. And I no longer have that source. And so learning to feel seen, heard, loved, celebrated, appreciated through God and Jesus's eyes is a heck of a transition. But it's a lot easier doing it with God than without God. That is for sure. But loneliness is really, really tough. But I'm proud of myself, man. I'm sticking true to my Christian beliefs and waiting around for a good, godly man. I have finally started getting hit on. Like officially, like people within my age. So that's nice. But they're all easily getting disqualified because you're not men of God. And I do want to give myself credit where credit is due, because before turning to God, I would have been so excited about having a decent person's attention. And having it fulfill me in some way that I would have put like myself and all my goals and dreams and whatever on the back burner in an effort to impress somebody to be in a relationship with. And it's just, it's nice watching us grow, and it's nice knowing we still got some juice in us, you know? And it feels really good to know like I'm doing everything I can to honor my relationship with God and waiting on his timing and not my own. So yeah, just waiting on a good old godly man. But that stressed me out, being by myself, cutting out people, and having less friends and whatnot. But right. On the bright side, I reached out to one of the girls from church group, finally. And I'm sorry, the dogs are arguing over a toy. And I told myself I was going to do that like a few days ago now. And I finally did today. Okay, that is enough, you guys. You know what? How about mommy just removes the toy altogether and nobody gets a toy? Wow, love how that worked out for me. Anyway. I reached out and we're making dinner plans for Friday. And I'm proud of myself for facing potential rejection and, but finding a potential friendship instead. God is good. So, that's not stressing me out. Actually, yeah, it is. Yes, it is. So let's talk about it. Fear of rejection. Fear of rejection doesn't just happen in a romantic setting, okay? Quite frankly, it happens way worse in platonic, girly settings, because I guess I've been traumatized by so many bad relationships and friendships with girls that I'm just always on the lookout for like perceived rejection or alienation or cattiness. And because I'm always on the lookout, my body's always tense, and that same tension is telling my brain like, oh girl, you're in danger. And then that danger is sending like spikes of cortisol through my body, and then everybody's looking at me wondering like why I'm shaking like a leaf, and then I have to lie and be like, oh no, I'm just really, really cold. And I mean, most times I am cold. Anemia is a problem, but I just have such a fear of rejection that my body is just in overload. And but I am stressed about making friends. I am stressed about not being Christian enough. I am stressed about not being a good fit for friends. I am nervous about putting my foot in my mouth and then girls doing what girls do and gossiping amongst each other. And it's a small church, so, you know, gossip has quite the impact in small settings. And I don't want to think about those fears. I prayed about this relationship with this girl, because I've known her now a little over a month, I think, just from my women's group for church. And I've thought about her all week. I've prayed about reaching out to her. I've prayed about being friends with her. I've asked God to give me more godly friends, and she's always someone I immediately think of when I make that prayer. So I'm hoping that, you know, I'm doing the right godly thing, and following God's guidance on this one. And so far so good, you know? So, but yeah, it is stressing me out a little bit. Not her, she's fantastic, but the idea of just like learning to make friends. That's so embarrassing. I'm 29 years old and I'm still learning how to make friends. But hopefully now, having like a foundation of Christianity, these relationships that once brought me so much stress and so much anxiety can now be a source of comfort and security, because I know the truth that these relationships are being rooted in and not the fallacies that humans can easily subject themselves to. So I'm noticing quite a difference. Look at my little stinker. Look, boy, look, we're twins, buddy. We're twins, man. I love him so much. But anywho, I should probably go ahead and start making dinner. It's 7 o'clock. I've been just chilling for the past hour. So, yeah, you guys, today is February 24th, 2K25. So happy Monday, you beautiful people. My name is Giselle. I am 29 years old. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video at all, please make sure that you like, comment, subscribe, all of that good jazz. Know that I love you with all of my heart, and I will catch you in my next video. Mwah.